The 146th day of Ukrainian Resistance Media Center Ukraine. I'm Vasil Samokhvalov, and we start our talk with Serhiy Borzov, head of Vinnytsia Oblast Military Administration. Serhiy, good afternoon. Yes, now I can see you. So, Serhiy, we've got information about the fact that the 25th victim of the missile strike of Vinnytsia has died, and this is a doctor. So, what is the recent data after the missile strike? Sorry for technical problems. So, Natalia Filshtinska was in the very epicenter of this explosion. And now in our hospitals, we have 54 people wounded of different degree of severity. 8 of them are in a grave condition, and out of 90, we have also a person who is a 20-year-old girl, and she has 98% of burns. We have also sent 4 patients to Lviv, to the burn centers, and in Vinnytsia we have such a center, but the best center of this sort is located in Lviv, so 4 patients, 4 children have been sent to Lviv. Did I get you right? Did I get you right that they were taken to Lviv by helicopters? And is it the only city where the casualties from Vinnytsia have been accommodated, or not only? Let me add that here we are speaking about high profile, um, narrow specialization hospitals, and Lviv has one of the best, or probably the best, center of that sort in. uh, And its level of classification is very high. That's why all grave patients are taken to Lviv, because they have in Lviv not just the best equipment but the best experts dealing with burn injuries. And let me also add that there is an opportunity to send patients after stabilization and rehabilitation to Poland, and it's very convenient to do it from Lviv logistically. Thank you for this information. The fate of the House of Officers, the House of Yubileyny complex, I know that foreign delegations were staying there. I know that you addressed the world asking for help. So, has anyone volunteered to provide help and support? And do you intend, in the place of this missile strike, to erect a kind of a memorial or a monument? Well, you know, the House of Officers is the architectural monument. That's why we will try to restore it in terms of its historical facade. This building experienced World War II in the same classical facade, and it was restored after World War II. And most people think that we need to still keep this facade. Unfortunately, the building has been fully destroyed, and we've got the expert evaluation saying that the building is dangerous. That's why the very building is subject to demolition, complete demolition. That's why to rebuild a new House of Officers, we are now collecting all the best architects of Vinnytsia region, and they will suggest some ideas, visions, some drawings for the new appearance, not just of the House of Officers, but for the square. The Yubileyny complex is a private building, but anyway, after we get expert evaluation, we will try to understand what the condition of the building is and whether it's going to be possible to reconstruct it, or probably it will have to be just fully rebuilt. This is a long term process, and now I would like to add that the House of Officers in Vinnytsia has become a symbol of stability and resistance, and I think that it needs to be restored in the same appearance. There were about 20 ambassadors of the EU countries, of the EU member states, and we know that Italy has suggested that it would rebuild Mariupol drama theater, and I have also asked the ambassadors to help us. So the embassy of Switzerland, the embassy of Israel to Ukraine have already volunteered. They have said at the meeting that they will help with the rebuilding of the House of Officers. How have those events affected the city and the region? I mean, psychological condition of people, behavioral reactions. Well, we used to have missile strikes on the first days of the war, but they were majorly targeting critical infrastructure, facility, military infrastructure, and not many people had access to these facilities. So, unfortunately, people were not that much responding to air alarm sirens. I was really concerned about this because people thought that the war is somewhere in the distance and no missile would hit Vinnytsia. But now people have become more careful, more disciplined, and when they hear air alarm sirens, they go to shelters. And in the streets, we can see not that many people, not that many cars during the alarms. What about the authorities? Will you exercise stricter control over compliance with the rules of air alarms for people to really take care of their health and life, and for business to take care of people during air alarms? I think people should themselves be concerned and take care of their safety. We all know that we are in the state of war, and the enemy has increased the number of missile strikes throughout the whole territory of Ukraine. We can see this from day to day in the news bulletin, and today in the night there were 10 missiles targeting Odessa. That was Caliber missile, which is very expensive, and these were civilian infrastructural facilities because that was the House of Culture. It's called the House of Officers, but this is the concert hall. It has nothing to do with the military facilities. And that was also the medical center, the hairdressers, and different offices. All the service facilities were located in that building, and this is one of the central squares of Zamostiansky district of Vinnytsia. So business also should create shelters. If these are catering institutions, trade centers, marketing centers, they also have to think it over where people could go in case of air alarm sirens. Thank you. Thanks a lot for your exhaustive information. This has been Serhiy Borzov, head of Vinnytsia Oblast Military Administration. Our next briefing is at 2, and we will talk to the mayor of the Midwich on the constant shelling. We will talk to the mayor of Mykolaiv, Alexander Sienkiewicz. See you.